Israel and Hamas. The World Health Organization says the humanitarian situation in Gaza is getting worse by the hour as Israeli forces continue their attacks in the south of the Gaza Strip. The UN has warned that it is no longer possible to create safe zones there for civilians. Let's speak to Juliette, Touma, Director of Communications at UNRWA, the UN Relief Agency for Palestine refugees. She's there in Jordan. Thank you once again for being here with us. A quick thought about what the World Health Organization was saying, getting worse by the hour. Is that what your colleagues are also saying to you?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's getting worse by the minute, it is safe to say. We are getting non-stop and constant SOS calls from our colleagues and friends who work for UNRWA. I think we've hit rock bottom, and it is a turning point in this war.
We're also hearing that the Jabalia refugee camp, which is in the north, has been encircled. Now, I don't know if you particularly have any recent data, but do you have any sort of estimation about how many people we're actually talking that are still in that refugee camp?
We don't have the exact figures. However, if you recall, Matthew, during the recent pause, our teams were able to make it to the north of the Gaza Strip, and they have confirmed that there are indeed people who continue to stay in our shelters and that our teams are working there. However, the bombardment has intensified over the past 24 hours in the south, especially in Khan Yunis, and tens of thousands of people have been forced to flee only to UNRWA shelters alone, which are very overcrowded. We have had 60,000 people coming only in the past few hours.
And not just overcrowded. You tweeted earlier about some facilities being damaged by the bombardment. Tell me more about that, and also evacuation orders that UNRWA are talking about for 69 of your shelters.
Yes, so we have recorded since the war began 100 hits on UNRWA facilities. The vast majority of them were in fact shelters where families were taking refuge under the UN flag. But in this war, even United Nations facilities have not been spared. And just as of this morning, we were able to sadly confirm additional colleagues of ours who were killed. 130 colleagues in total have been killed in Gaza during the war. And people continue to come to our shelters wherever they are across the Gaza Strip. But people are very, very fearful of what's coming next, especially given the intensification of the bombardment in the south.
Final quick question. What do you make of these so-called safe zones? And I know that you are anxious about running out of tents. Just how low are your supplies?
There is no such thing as a safe zone in Gaza. The whole of the Gaza Strip has become one of the most dangerous places to live in right now. There's no safe zone. There's no safe place. No place is safe. No place is spared.
And the situation with your tents?
Well, we had a very limited number of tents. You know what we used them for? We used them in our own shelters to give people some privacy and to shield them and protect them from the rain. But it's not like, we plan to open this mega camp that some reports are referring to.
Juliette Touma, live for us there in Jordan. Thank you once again for coming on to BBC News and giving us the very latest. Thanks for your time. Around the world and across the UK, you're watching BBC News.